For so long, high performance has been this real masculine thing and push hard and play hard and hustle and grind. And I don't believe that's sustainable. Norepinephrine, endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin. If our hormones are not serving us, we're not going to be able to perform at a high level. When someone says to me, Sarah, I'm busy, first thing I'll say is, give me your phone. Let's look at your screen time. You're not busy. You just got a priority problem. Common sense isn't always common practice. If you don't have priorities, you'll dilute your results. Get radically clear. What do you really want? I was going through a divorce. I had just resigned from a very nice job at a private school. I'd now had to figure out how to grow an online membership from scratch. Within 6 to 7 months, I'm up to like 60K. By the end of the year, I'm just past 100K. I'm like, what? For me, I thought it would never be possible until I started rewiring with this same system I've just shared with you.
Hey, top of the afternoon, guys. I am so excited here with James Laughlin. I wish that I had his book to be holding up here to show you guys. So he's a leadership trainer. He trains leadership in corporate, but he is an world champion drummer. Is that correct? So an ex-world champion drummer. He trains leadership in corporate. He speaks on this and he's just launching a book. It's called Habits of High Performers. I read the description of this book and immediately was like, okay, I need to interview this guy, and I'm going to read it to you because I know that you guys are probably going to love this as much as I am. So I just want to read the blurb of the book because this instantly hooked me. It says, Habits of High Performers will show you that high performance is hormonal and plays a massive role in your ability to perform at your best. Cortisol, dopamine, and oxytocin all influence how we handle stress, stay motivated, and build connections. This book will also show you that high performers focus on their strengths, take their meds, supercharge their beliefs, understand that desire is to a result what fuel is to fire. And when your why is clear, your how is easy. Oh my God, I read that and I was like, this is so good. I need it. I need to interview this guy. I need to read this book. I'm waiting for it to come on pre-order. I know that everyone in here is going to love this. So welcome. I'm super excited to have you, James. Before we kick off, can you tell me, how did you go from a drummer to a high performance coach?
Great question. Sarah, I'm so glad to be here. So great to be connected. And thank you for pre-ordering the book and then reaching out. That means a lot. I really do appreciate it. So I get asked this a lot, whether I'm working with the army, I'm working with professional athletes or corporates. Like, how did you go from winning all these world championship titles as a drummer to doing what you do now? Well, it happened because I burned out. I got so sick of drumming. It was a passion, it was a hobby, it became a chore and a job. And it got to the point where I was sick of it. And I got to 30 and I thought, what can I do? I'm James the drummer. I play drums, teach drums, sell drums. I have a drumming community membership and I'm all about drumming. But if I was to lose my arm tomorrow, what would I do? I would struggle to put food on the table. So I started looking at, do I have transferable skills? And I thought I didn't. But I went back to uni. Had never been to uni, skipped that part. But at 30, went back and did a Bachelor of Applied Management and Leadership and realized a lot of the skills I've built through my life doing what I've done, as we've all done different things, they're really applicable. And then pretty soon after that, I had people within the school community that I was teaching at a private school in New Zealand. The parents started reaching out saying, could you come in and coach me as a leader? Could you coach my team? Then our local rugby team, which is Canterbury Rugby, they kind of are one of the key feeders into the All Blacks. They said, "Would you come and do the mental skills program? You've helped this school become world champions. You've won it yourself." I was like, I'm not a rugby expert, but yeah, sure. So I went and started working on the mental skills side with professional athletes. Got some great results there, and that's when the corporate side of things really took off, Sarah. People could see that what I was doing was really pragmatic. The tools were straightforward and they got results. And so that's kind of where it's taken off from.
I love that. Really cool. Oh, so you've taught like elite sporting teams as well. I think you would like. I have a mentor. His name is Peter Cox here in Oz, and he's coached some of our elite football teams. So I reckon you guys would like each other, like
He
similar
sounds
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah. But I'm really curious. The thing that pulled me in the most about your book was you spoke about in the blurb how high performance is related to hormones. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, look, it's so important that we do. For so long, high performance has been this real masculine thing and push hard and play hard and hustle and grind. And I don't believe that's sustainable. In fact, I know it's not sustainable. And I'm dealing with people who are, PGA golfers, they're rugby players, they're CEOs of the top 50 companies. they're burning out left, right, and center if they don't manage the internal piece. So you and I can work on our psychology all day long, set our goals, which is a key part of being a high performer, writing them down, working on our beliefs. But when it comes to hormones, if our hormones are not serving us, we're not going to be able to perform at a high level. So there's a couple of key hormones we all should be aware of, and we should, I think, go and get tested. So if we're lacking motivation, if we start on something and don't follow through, it might be one that we're neurodiverse. Lots of us are. There's lots of neurotypical people too, but other side of it, there could be a hormone imbalance. So norepinephrine, endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin. Those are some of the really, really crucial ones. So if we take a look at dopamine, essentially, that's the number one thing that relates to motivation and drive. So just before we jumped on, I got a little piece of meat for the dog, and bang, straight up off the sofa, straight over to me, looking at me. Why? The dopamine fired. If you and I don't have that dopamine firing for our goals internally, we've got dopamine depletion, we're not going to be motivated. So it really fuels anticipation. Here's an example. Rats were put into an experiment, and I don't believe in testing in animals, but this experiment was made public knowledge. The rats pressed this lever about 7 or 8 thousand times in an hour for a dopamine hit. Now, when that dopamine was blocked from the rats, like internally blocked, and food was put right in front of them, literally, they just had to walk forward half an inch. They had zero motivation to walk towards that food, and they were starving rats. So we
Wow.
are no different. If our dopamine's lacking, then we won't have the get up and go to go after that goal that we wrote down for the year, go after that fitness, that gym membership that we put out there, that new business that we started, that we
Mhm.
go, oh, the system doesn't work or the process doesn't work. Highly likely it could be that our hormones are playing against us. So I'll stop right there in case there's any, before we look at the others, if you want to look at the others, in case there's any questions on that.
So many questions, but I am curious because I think I've read about like you know how we're like scrolling on our phone all the time and we're just getting like dopamine hit, dopamine hit, dopamine hit. Is there a role in like too much creating than too little? Like how does that work?
Yeah, so great question. So in the book, I talked about Dr. Anna Lemke. She did a lot of study on dopamine. She has a book called Dopamine Nation, great book. And so essentially, if we're getting dopamine hits from scrolling, which we do, eventually we get so much that we get a dopamine crash. And then we have to look for even more dopamine hits. And we usually look for short, quick fixes. And for
Mhm.
people, that could be scrolling, that could be alcohol, that could be overworking, that could be porn, that could be lots of things. So we have to like really try and manage our dopamine and look for things that slow us down. So I always encourage my clients to have days without their phone. So at least one full day, 24-hour period, no phone. It resets your dopamine system. So we got to celebrate small wins when it comes to achievement, and it shouldn't all be about having the quick wins for scrolling. Just we want to cut all that behavior down to a minimum.
Can you test dopamine? I know you can test other hormones, but can you test that?
So I had an endocrinologist recently, and they didn't test specifically for dopamine. They did for cortisol. There's a very weird and specific test for cortisol.
Mhm.
But dopamine, I don't think you can test exactly for because it's very reactive. It's something that's
Yeah.
spikes and like it can be instantaneous.
Yeah. And so the solution to that is the solution really like what you say, like actually withdrawing, like having periods of downtime to then just reset that.
Yeah, solitude, like having time where like I meditate a lot. And
Okay.
so I was speaking with one of the world's leading longevity experts and talking about health span rather than lifespan, like having a really healthy long life. And he says one of the key factors for women is managing estrogen and men testosterone. And he says one of the key ways to manage some of our neurotransmitters and our hormones is to meditate. And there's more and more research that really support that. So meditation will help balance, particularly dopamine and others.
Okay. So estrogen for women, meditation for everyone, and times of solitude and switching off are key things for their resetting dopamine.
100% down regulating. I talk about 3-2-1 in the evenings. Super
Yeah.
simple. 3 hours before bed, no work, no get it, just get off your laptop, off your phone.
Oh,
You're not liking that one, are you, Sarah?
Oh, yeah. 3 hours? Okay.
3 hours, 2 hours before bed, no food, no liquid.
Yeah.
And so you let your body rest and digest. And 1 hour, this is the most difficult one, I think, no screens. 1 hour before bed, no screens whatsoever, no Netflix,
Mm.
so that's the hard one. But we downregulate our system. We start to
Yeah.
let see the dopamine start to settle.
Okay, cool. I like that. So down-regulate your system, test your hormones, have time off, and meditate. That's four key things to reset your dopamine system. I like that. That is amazing. I have a side question. I'm curious, and this may not be anything that you teach, but because you mentioned some people are neurodivergent, what are your thoughts on, because I think that a lot of people with ADHD and certain particular issues with focus also have like MTHFR gene defects. I don't know if that's anything that you'll know. Look
I'm
into
not
it.
across that.
You might find it really interesting. Do you know who Gary Brackett
No,
is?
I'll write this down though.
Write him down. Anyway, MTHFR gene defect, and it's basically it means that your body doesn't methylate properly. So you have a methylation process of converting certain B vitamins, and if it's not doing this properly, it can for women, probably men too, but it can affect your hormones, it can affect your neurotransmitters, it can affect your focus. And so it's really simple. It's just taking an activated supplement, but game changing, like absolutely game changing. I just take like this active supplement, and it was the first time I was 25, was the first time that I took this supplement. And I'd never before been able to sit and actually look at a computer screen and focus until I was 25. And all I needed was
Wow.
a active B12 supplement to do
That's
it.
amazing. So my partner, Caroline, recently got diagnosed with autism, and
Yeah.
she's had B issues, I think B12 for a long time and really deficient in that and iron. So I might mention this to her right after the call.
Yeah, yeah, definitely look into it. That's really cool. All
Thank
right.
you.
Oh, good. I love that. So reset dopamine, number one, and then so you said test hormones. So there are other key hormones involved. What else is there?
Yeah, so the key ones that I always look at when it comes to motivation and like actually getting after high performance goals, serotonin's a big one. So obviously serotonin regulates our mood, our confidence, our emotional stability. So often when we're lacking in that, we're not chasing our goals. We are feeling pretty low. We lack that self-esteem, that self-love. So super important to look at ways that we can boost our serotonin. The ways that I find easiest, the free ways, practicing gratitude, like genuinely practicing gratitude, sunlight in the mornings. Dr. Andrew Huberman obviously goes deep on that,
Yeah.
looking at how the sunlight can affect us. Acts of kindness, even just moving our body in gentle ways. But daily gratitude and morning sunlight, for me, are very simple, easy ways to actually enhance our serotonin. And that allows us to balance out, relax, so that when we need to go and push for high performance, we've got those stores for that.
Yeah. Do you test that as well with people? Like when you tell them to get their hormones test, do you test that too?
So serotonin, essentially, these ones are very difficult to test for. And most GPs, if you ask, hey, can you send me for, they will say no. So I went
No.
along with a list of 35, and I'm happy to share that full list with you, with your
Okay.
audience. So 35 different things to get tested. And this is off. The reason I did this is my health coach is a guy that worked with the Navy SEALs in the US. He's a human bioperformance specialist. And essentially, he says if we can look at these things, we can prevent a lot of ill health and we can also
Mm.
enhance our performance. So I went along to the doctor in New Zealand with the list, and they went, "You're crazy. Like, we're not sending you for that. There's no way. We'll send you for total blood count. We'll send you for, cholesterol, but you can self-refer." So I went along and self-referred for a lot of these things. And it was very helpful to see what's looking good and what's not looking so good. So I would suggest if everyone should go and do that, I think they should. It's
Yeah.
something that then you can actually do something about.
That's amazing. I love that. Guys, just comment checklist if you want the checklist of what to test. And comment book. Like I think I'll have a link somewhere because I've already pre-ordered it. But I'll add James in here as well. But comment book if you want the book, comment checklist. So that's cool. So first one is dopamine, second one is serotonin. What was the third one?
Yes, so the dopamine, serotonin, then we look at norepinephrine, otherwise known as noradrenaline. And of
Hmm.
course, we're all very familiar with adrenaline, but essentially it's around focus and alertness. And, when we've got the right amounts of it, it can heighten our energy and attention under pressure And high performers have to perform with pressure. And most of us who are here now watching, listening, we have pressure in our lives. We have deadlines, we have commitments, responsibilities. So norepinephrine is something that we've really got to ensure that we balance. Things that can help that: cold exposure for those that are up for it. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but really good for norepinephrine. Having challenging tasks, things that are difficult, can spike our noradrenaline. So for me, stepping on a stage and speaking to an audience of 5,000 people, I'll tell you what, my norepinephrine's pumping. My
Yeah.
heart rate's through the roof. Those kind of things are great in short sprints. If I'm speaking 6 times in a week, Sarah, by the end of it, I'm a wreck. I'm
Mm.
so flat. My weekend is not very fun. So again, it's about finding ways to balance that. And that back to the cold therapy. Simple things
Okay.
like massage are really helpful for balancing. But that's all around that focus and alertness. And the last but not least is endorphins, which is essentially nature's natural painkillers. And when our endorphins are balanced, we get that, like Mihai spent his life dedicated to flow, the flow state, where we're doing something for an hour and it feels like it was a minute.
Yeah.
When our endorphins are working properly, that's what can happen. And for us that struggle with focus, that can be me at times, I need to try and get into a state of flow. If I'm going to sit at the computer and do something, or if I'm going to sit and chat to someone for an hour, I need to make sure that I'm really in the right zone. So laughter is great for that. Exercise, of course, deep breathing, music. I don't know about you, but when I hear certain music, I'm like, oh, like Avicii. When I hear Avicii, some of his music, I'm like, this is euphoric. My endorphins are pumping.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's the simple stuff. And often, Sarah, common sense isn't always common practice.
Hmm. True, true. I like that. So if you were to actually, I'll just recap for everyone. So we had dopamine, which is so for us like switching off, down regulating at nighttime, meditating. Then we had, was it serotonin that was
Yep.
next? We had serotonin and gratitude. Gratitude
Mhm.
increases serotonin. Acts of kindness increases serotonin. Oh, there was something else that
You're
increases.
amazing, by the way. Your memory is
Right.
incredible.
Trying I'm so used to doing this, like just recapping for people because, otherwise you forget all the good stuff, right? So I'm trying to remember and it helps me. And hopefully someone else, please write this down. Someone please type it in the comments. Then it helps the recap. And then the third one was not neuroperipherin. We just did that one. The third one was,
Yeah, you
oh,
got it. Dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine. Yeah.
oh, that is norepinephrine. Oh, that was the fourth one, I think. Norepinephrine, but that is like we can either do hard tasks, so we can do
Mhm.
hard things. We can oh no,
Yeah,
that
the
was
cold
not
showers really help with
cold,
that.
cold therapy, perfect. And then the last one, which it's eluding me.
Endorphins.
Endorphins. How could I get that? How could I miss that one? And so that I'm guessing exercise helps with that. What else? What else helped
Yeah,
with
deep
the endorphins?
breathing. So like the Wim Hof breathing, laughter, watching stupid
Laughter.
stuff.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
Yes, right, dancing. Okay,
music.
perfect. Music, amazing. Awesome. I love that. So four key hormones that are going to help you guys to be focused and be motivated. If you were to like work, because you work with teams, you work with sporting teams, you worked in corporate, you do all this stuff. If you were to step in, say, with a sporting team or with a group of people that you wanted to enhance their performance, what would kind of be like the process that you would go through with them?
Yeah, it's the same process every time. And often the goals are very nuanced and bespoke, but it's exactly the same process. So, number one, get radically clear. What do you
Mm.
really want? I often say to people, if someone's watching this right now and I was with them one to one, what do you want? If they start with I'm like, cool, you've no idea, absolutely no idea. If you start with you need to just slow down, get a journal, and think. We should be able to go, what I want is ABC. So get radically clear on what success looks like to you. If you're going to buy the Range Rover, great, buy it because you love the Range Rover and how it drives. Don't buy it because Susie next door has got one and you want to look cool like her. Like, set your goals based on what's true to you and align yourself with that. Secondly, you've got to supercharge your BS, your belief systems. So anyone that I work with that achieves any form of greatness, whether it's Olympic gold medals or they hit great quarterly targets, it's because their beliefs line up with that. So Sarah, here's an example. I'll give you full permission to just tell me what you think, what comes to mind. So don't think about my feelings, just you can just tell me how it goes. So what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of an Irishman. And let people type it in if they want as well. They can type it in.
Yeah, okay. Kilts, skirts,
Yeah.
like,
Anything
yeah,
else?
beer.
Yeah, good. Keep going. This is good.
Being rowdy, being rowdy. Ireland, Dublin is the only place that I've ever seen like an 8-year-old kid roll someone in the public at knife point. So I think danger. Crazy. I think psychos.
There we
Um,
go. You know, what you've just labeled, I'm sure people in the chat are probably saying leprechauns, Guinness, fiddly-dee potatoes. They've got all those things in there, right? So that's your BS, that's your belief systems. So when I'm working with an individual building their business or teams building their teams, it's like, what are your belief systems about success? What are your belief systems about money? What are your belief systems about leadership? And we start to get to the truth of it. And often with money, it's like money doesn't grow on trees. I don't know about you, Sarah, but I was told that as a kid a lot, and it
mm,
really didn't help me. And so it's looking at your belief systems and going, what do they need to be? Because achieving begins with believing. So we got to get really clear on that. So you got your get radically clear, supercharge your BS,
I love that.
and then
Write this
lead.
down, guys. Someone write this down. Thank you. Keep going, keep going.
Got some note takers there. I love it.
Yeah, they take notes. It's great. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Go ahead.
You got a great team. And the other thing that we step to then is lead your life with purpose. And that's what I kind of been talking about for the last 6 or 7 years on my podcast. Every person I sit down with, whether they are prime ministers, Formula One drivers, authors, the last thing I always ask them is if you had to give advice to a young person on how to lead their life on purpose, what would it be? And I'm fascinated by what people say. So I find that teams that have purpose are able to achieve so much more. Individuals who are starting a small business, when they are clear on why they're doing it, the how is easy. You know, when your why is clear, the how is easy. So 5 and a bit years ago, this drinking Irishman decided to go alcohol free. And that was a big decision for me.
I
I'll
can
take that.
imagine.
Thank you. But it was hard. So what did I have to do? Why? What's the reason? You know, why today? Why tomorrow? Why in 10 years? What's the whys? So a page of whys. And all of a sudden, every day was just a breeze. It was much easier. So I think having a why is really helpful when we're trying to achieve anything, sport, business, or life. Next thing is to really supercharge your motivation. And we've talked a little bit about doing that. Another part of that is just having goal planning, like actual process for setting goals, reverse engineering them. Then we get down to doing the work. It's the hard part. It's the part people complain about. I'm too busy, got too many things on. You've got to do the work. And high performers make time to do that. When someone says to me, Sarah, I'm busy, first thing I'll say is, give me your phone. Let's look at your screen time. So you've got 7 hours, 51 minutes on Facebook. You've got 9 hours on TikTok. You're telling me you're busy. How many clients did you get on Facebook last month? Oh, like 3. Okay, you're not busy. You've just got a priority problem.
How can I ask when you do that? I don't even know what mine would say, but on average, how many hours do you see people on social media for?
Yeah, social media combined, it's easily 20 plus hours a week. There's half a week of traditional work hours just on social media.
Crazy. I'll check
Crazy
mine.
is
I'm
right.
going to check mine after this.
Dude, please let me know. I want to
But
know.
I do make a lot of money on social media, so at least I'm like, I'm making money on there, but I am curious to see how bad it is.
Dude, look and see and then be honest with yourself. Like, could I cut that in half and still make the same amount of money from it?
That is the question. That is the question. Yeah, I love
Hmm.
that. So we have, sorry for interrupting you. So we got
No.
get clear on your why, supercharge your BS, and then it was goals, right?
Yeah, so lead your life on purpose, number 3.
Oh yeah, purpose. That's right, purpose. Lead your life on purpose, and then goals.
Yeah, so multiply that motivation, then do the work, like actually get to work and get going. Next
Perfect.
part of that is focus on your priorities.
I'm totally getting it. Okay, cool. So motivation and then priorities.
Yeah, so if you don't have priorities, if you dilute your priorities, clearly you'll dilute your results. And so few people are priority focused. Generally, people are very busy. And when I meet busy people, I say you simply lack priorities. So get clear on what they are. I have a simple process with my clients. What are your 3 MVPs? Your most
Yeah.
valued priorities. What are they today? What are they this week, this month? If you can get clear on that and stay on that, I promise you anything is possible. I had a guy who was running a business. He was bringing in, I think at the time, about 150K a year. He had a relatively large family to feed. and he wanted to join the $1 million club. That was his goal. And some of his colleagues had done it. It was a really rare goal. And I laughed. I says, dude, that's so easy. That's so predictable. He says, what do you mean? I says, literally, I can predict how you'll get there. I don't even know your industry, but I'll give you 7 steps. If you do each of them, I promise you within 18 months, you'll be in the $1 million club. He's like, whoa, well, what is it? I took him through these 7 steps. And about 13 months in, he joins the $1 million club. And it's just simple stuff done well.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And that's the steps we're going through now.
Yeah, that was the sixth step. Yeah, was take no to really prioritize your priorities. Last one
Yeah.
is take no shortcuts.
Take the
Sounds
slow way,
simple.
the fast way.
Yeah, you're right. Like
The
great
right way.
things take time.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Okay. Amazing. What is like what is the I'm not gonna say the most random, but I guess like a productivity hack that you've learned that maybe kind of like it shocked you or you thought it was like it wasn't something you were expecting? Like, is there like a random hack or something that you came across one day that you're like, oh wow, that's and you looked into it and was like, shit, this actually worked and you weren't expecting it?
Yeah, for me, it was do, delegate, delete. Just do, delegate, delete. And I was like, what's this kind of Harvard BS? What is this thing people are trying to tell me to do? So I look at it, I was like, do, delegate, delete. What do I need to do? Like, what must I do? If it's a should, don't be a should head. Don't do that. So what must I do? That goes in that little column. Okay, what can I delegate? Like who on my team or who in my life could I delegate that? Or, when I was starting out in business, like who on Upwork could I hire in the Philippines who's way more skilled and way better than me at the thing? I could delegate that out and then delete. You know what? There's no need for it. It's not a priority. Delete. I've even started doing that to emails. I'm like, I don't need to respond to that. Delete. Like, it sounds terrible, but
Yeah.
there's a certain point where you've got to delete things. So that's a really quick, amazing way to buy back your time.
I like that. So I will make a list, right? Like if we all have a to-do list, have a million to-do lists, and if something is not on my schedule for the day and it's not like a quick thing to do, and we get these ideas and we're like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do all these shiny objects and doing stuff crops up, right? And so I put it on my list, but then I go back through at the end of the week, and most of the time I go delete, 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 delete. Because I'm like, oh, shiny object, shiny object, shiny object, waste of time, not necessary, not going to move the needle forward. Delete,
Yep.
delete, delete,
Good
delete.
on you.
Right? It just saves us like I think there's so much power in being able to say no to stuff. So that's
I'm
awesome.
with you on that 100%. And on that kind of, I guess, productivity side of it, I've got a planner, a high performance planner that all of my clients, whether they're in the All Blacks, the Wallabies, whether they're running teams or businesses, I'd love to give it to your people for free if you think that would be valuable.
We would love that. Guys, you just have to type planner in the chat box, please. That would be amazing. I would love that. Thank you.
Too easy. I'll send you the link and they just pop their name and email in, they'll get the planner.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, that's amazing. Last question, like for someone who's maybe, look, 'cause a lot of the people in this group are the beginners, they're getting the business off the ground, they sort of haven't maybe like, less than their first 6 figures. They're working a day job, they got kids, they're trying to start a business, they're feeling busy, they're feeling really overwhelmed. I think the do delegate delete was like so, so powerful, but aside from that, do you have just one strategy or one concept or one mindset shift or belief or something that you would want to leave them with that you're like, this will change your life?
Mm. Probably not a quick fix or anything like that, but one, be kind to yourself and believe and back yourself. I was going through a divorce. I had just resigned from a very nice job at a private school teaching drums. I'd now had to figure out how to grow an online membership from scratch. I'm like, oh my God, like, how do I get to 40,000? Never mind first 6 figures. And for me, I thought it would never be possible until I started rewiring with this same system I've just shared with you. And within 6 to 7 months, I'm up to like 60K. And then by the end of the year, I'm just past 100K. I'm like, what? This is even possible. So believe in yourself, be kind, be patient, and most importantly, get into a community where people can support you. And it sounds like they're already there because if I didn't have the community I was in, I wouldn't have known how to build my membership. I wouldn't have known how to build my community, which gave me the freedom to actually do what I do now and explore what I'm interested in. So That's kind of probably what I'd leave with people.
I like that. Did you know, I think, and I don't know exactly where this is, I'm paraphrasing here, but there was a study somewhere that showed that the number one habit of happy people was self-kindness.
I believe it.
Yeah, was just not beating themselves up. So
I'm
great.
with you. I believe it.
Great last thing to take away. This was so
Mm.
good. Thank you so much for doing this. Comment if you want any of the amazing stuff that James just mentioned. I will find a link for his book as well and add him to this group. But thank you, James. This was amazing. Appreciate it so much. Peace and love, guys. Have an amazing day, weekend, wherever you are. I'll see you guys next time.